Hello and welcome to EGW Writings Tech Tips. I'm your host, Darryl Thompson. Thank you for joining us in another of our series on learning how to use the new EGW Writings website. Now today I'm going to show you search, and in particular search filters. Search filters, you might ask? Well, you can just, like you go to Google and you type in the word faith, for example, and you just get a set of results that Google determines that you should receive. But in Ellen White's writings, a lot of people, once they start to use her books, there's so many different categories and collections and books that she wrote in her lifetime and published in her lifetime, and books that the White estate in compilations from her letters and manuscript have put together on a variety of topics, that people may want to look within, say, a particular year or a particular collection or a particular order, and all that can be done in search filters. And the best way to show you how to do that, of course, is to give you a demonstration. So in front of me, I've opened up the EGW Writings website, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put in the word love. And I clicked enter, remember, to get to my post-search results. Now over here, you can see on the right-hand side a series of a couple of little icons here. Well, there's 4 icons, I guess, in total. The first one here gives me how many search results I have for the word love. And then after that, you see these little tiny up and down arrows right there. If I click on the little up and down arrows, you can see that it says weighted relevancy, content sequence, relevancy, earliest first, and latest first. Now, I gave a detailed explanation of weighted relevancy in my previous tutorial on post-search results. But essentially what it does is it weights Ellen White's writings up first, and it looks for the most relevant phrases with the word that I'm searching for, this time love, from her earliest books, and puts them at the top, and tries to put the unique results, and not duplicate results, up in the top first 100. So that's weighted relevancy. And then we have content sequence. Well, let me just show you before we go on weighted relevancy results. You see as we scroll down here, you can see the blue at the top. Blue signifies that it comes from Ellen G. White's writings, because if you look over on the left here, you can see how Ellen G. White's writings are blue, references in gold, Bible is in burgundy, and Adventist Pioneer Library is in green. So we know instantly at the top here it's color-coded, and also the highlights are color-coded to show you the correct collection that you're in to start with. Now, if it's from Ellen White, it puts EGW, then it gives you the book code, then it gives you the date, and then it gives you the published year. And as we scroll down, like I said, it puts the earliest publication dates first that it shows up. Now, it doesn't do it in earliest order, it just puts the most earliest relevant statement. And then we can scroll through. Now, there are 70,000 results, so it would take a long time to scroll through all this. So I'm not going to do all that. But that is weighted relevancy. The next one is content sequence. And if I click here, it's instantly going to be following, if I expand the EGW writings here, and I expand the books in the tree, it'll show me results from Acts of the Apostles first, then Adventist Home, and so on and so forth, down in the order of my library tree here. So yes, you can see the results from Acts of the Apostles first. All right, so content sequence. Now relevancy, it's very similar to weighted relevancy, but instead of putting Ellen White results first, it looked across the entire database from all the collections. So, not just Ellen White's writings, but Reference, Bible, and Adventist Pioneer Library. And here we can see the green, and then the burgundy for the Bible, green for Adventist Pioneer Library. There's the gold from the Reference collection. We haven't even, there we go. We finally got a result at result 18 from Ellen White's writings. And that is the relevancy, if you want to look across the entire corpus of everything that is contained within EGW Writings database. Now, the next one is earliest first. If I click on earliest first, I may want to come back and put like weighted relevancy, or I may want to put up here then earliest first. And if I put earliest first, after I've clicked that, see how it looked in my last result. So once I went back, put weighted relevancy, it put Ellen White first, and then I went down and did earliest first. So then it brings up EGW writing. So it remembers what you did in your previous action in your next action. So just remember that. Now we're back to EGW writings, and you can see that it did her results first. And all of these books are from her earliest publications with the word love. But maybe I want to see the latest results. This would be from her compilations. And you can see here, 2018, Principles for Christian Leaders, is a compilation that the White Estate released in 2018. So there's my different filters. Now, the next ones that we're looking at here are exact match, and I explained this a little bit earlier in the post-search overview. There's exact match and root word match. The good thing here is if I click on like exact word match, it is only going to look for the word love. If I click on, and you can see here that all my highlights, I should show you this, all my highlights here are from the word love. All right. Now, if I click on root word match, you can see that it's looking for ultimate root forms of the word love, like loving, loved, loves, lover, all the different forms of that word that are found within the writings of Ellen G. White will be showed up here. And you can see there are only 15,000 for alternate forms. And if I click here in the exact word match, there are 55,000. But by default, the exact word match and root word come up and there's 70,000. You say, wait, what is the use of that? Well, sometimes you may have searched for the word and you're not sure of some of the other words that you may have used. By looking for, just like Google does in our algorithm, it helps you find maybe the word that you're actually looking for. So it gives you all of the forms of that word. But it always puts at the top the exact first and then the other one second. And sometimes you can type in a word up here that doesn't even appear, but because it has the root word form of it, it will show you some results. So it has those benefits because, most of us, how well do we know 19th century English that Ellen White wrote in? Not as well as we know 21st century English. So there is a big difference there. Over the last couple of hundred years, English and language has changed a little bit. It's similar, but some words and some meanings have changed, and so we put that in there to help you find what you may be looking for. All right, the next area is this like little filter cone, and that is the collections filter. So let me just go back and set it back to the default, weighted relevancy, and yes, exact match root words. Okay, so in the filter here, that's this little filter cone up there, you can see there are different collections. Once again, we're looking in EGW Writings collections only, and that's my results. And I only will see results from Ellen White's writings. But maybe I want to look across the whole entire database, and you can see it goes way beyond 100,000 results for the word love. We only can give up in our digits up to 100,000. So it's looking across everywhere. And you can do that. Maybe you want to filter in just lifetime works, books that were published during the lifetime of Ellen G. White. And you can click on lifetime results, and it drops it down to 47,000 because none of the compilations that the White Estate have put together are there. Prophets and Kings is the last book that we have that was in the editorial stage when she passed away in 1915. Prophets and Kings in the second edition that we use now came out in 1917. So we go from 1845 through to 1917 in her lifetime works. I may want to switch it just to compilations, which is 1918 unto present. And you can see up here that all the books are post when she passed away in 1915. Another one we have here is you may want to search just in Adventist Pioneer Library. Or maybe you want to look for the word love within Scripture in your default Bible, which I have set at King James Version, and it will find here. When you get that and you've changed your Bible version, you can see a new little icon pops up there, and you may say, well, I don't want to see the results in the KJV. I would like to see it in a more modern English version, so maybe like the New King James Version. So I can quickly flip on this icon, click on it, and change my results to the NKJV. And then all my results come here for the word love. So it's interesting. Let's see, 457 times in the NKJV. How many times does it show up in the King James Bible? There we go, King James Version, 363. So the NKJ uses love more than what the KJV uses because it would be using older forms for that word, much like Ellen White did. So that's in that. And of course, you can also look up in dictionary. And so sometimes you may not be sure of a more complicated word or a word that we don't commonly use in our language today. You could type it in there, you could click on dictionary, and it will bring you up a result from Noah Webster's 1828 dictionary, a contemporary dictionary of Ellen White, and then you can look up the definitions right from there, from the dictionary. So that is all the little tiny filters. Now in the little tiny 3 dots here on the side, in the first one, this one here is showing and changing the results length. By default, we use long, but you can change the length to just showing the references, or you can choose short, which is 2 lines, or you can choose long, which will be 3 to 5 lines, or you can choose paragraph, which you can see here shows you the whole paragraph. Now, when you choose paragraph, you can see how it's, not really enough room. The best thing when you do that is click on the 3 dots and just click on the show main screen results. And that puts the results from the Search Plus window over into the center screen. And when you do that, you can see your results in a paragraph very easily. And then you've got the related, which is that first screen which we went through in a previous tutorial. Then you've got your history. And in here, you can jump through to all your results. But say you've got 914, you want to get to the 800th result, you can just directly type in the result number and jump directly to it. You can do that. And you can jump forward the next 10, or you can jump forward the next 100. And in our results, we always load 100 results at a time. We cache. If you load it, it doesn't cache all 70,000. It would load up your computer and take a while to download and use all your bandwidth. We just load up the first 100 results. And then when you get to that result, if I load them here, see if I scroll through, see how they're not loaded yet as I get back into the 700s, and then they load. So they load in the 100 results at a time. And you can see it will pull up and it will pull in and load the results. So that's how the results work. In that here, you can also filter directly down to a book code. And that's useful if I'm in EGW Writings collection. I could pop in here and maybe I just want to see Great Controversy, and it will instantly filter my results to Great Controversy. All right, so these are all the different search filters. The last one, of course, is language, because sometimes that word is used in other languages. So I can click on that language and it will update my results based off, within that language. But I'm going to select here in English and see that results within English. Okay, I've gone through all of the search filters that we have offered right there within my search results in Search Plus. Thank you for joining us today in learning how to use the filters that is in my Search Plus results area. Have a nice day. Bye for now.